Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. I'll say hello to everyone who's in the chat so far. So, hi Wall, nice to see you. Hi Stephen, hi Colin. Who else is here? I think that's Sandrini's music. Hello. And Chester, hi Chester, hi David. And anyone else I may have missed, but yeah, welcome. We're taking a look at LayR Synth. LayR is mind-boggling. Okay, so when you first boot LayR up, this is a patch I've just messed with. This is not going to be. You couldn't do a LayR tutorial in an hour. It would be impossible. But hopefully, we're going to play some sounds, and you'll get an idea of how you can program it if you want to. It does come with an absolute ton of presets, so you probably would never need to program it if you didn't want to. But if you did, LayR is super powerful. It's it's multi-timbral. You can split your channels, synths, whatever, over multiple channels, as many as you like. I'll try and explain this. What I'll go back to an initialized kind of patch sort of thing. If we go into our patch browser here, so if you want to locate a patch, go into the patch browser and in keys or whatever you'll find, well, it's actually in keys you can find default, and then you can just close it. And then anytime you go into the patch browser as well, so if you go into the patch browser like this, you will see initialize here, and there's your initialized program, and it's just a sine wave. Hi Daniel. This is so that's your basic thing, and this is what loads up when you open it. By default, it opens up this polyphonic sine wave thing. Over here is your master channel, your master strip. Your effects are located here, so you'll see you have an EQ, a delay, and a reverb, and these are your send effects sort of thing. Then over here is your instrument. So you see it says instrument 1. You open this and you'll see the instrument 1, default instrument 1, has one other thing in there, and that's LayR 1. At the top of LayR 1 here, you will see a little 1 and a little 2. These are your effect sends. So for example, if we now open our effects here, and we go to our delay and we increase the dry wet signal for the delay, which is effect number 1, and we bring up the send, you'll see that we have Andrea, we were just talking about you yesterday. Joe said she was going to email you. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're okay. Robert De Niro's here, everybody. If you possibly and a new sample a new program, if examination, what's that? Right. Anyway, so there's your send. And it also has a reverb set in the delay, which is really, really nice. Anyway, let's turn the wet signal down on that. And then the second one is a reverb, so we turn the dry wet up on that, and then I don't know, it's not the real Robert De Niro, but he may be a fan, I don't know. He may like to watch, he may be into iOS music apps. So there you go. So there's your kind of effects and how you can route each one of these to your effects. Now, this becomes mind-boggling. When you consider that you can have up to 128 of these layers inside one instrument. Now, of course, depending on the power of your device. So, for example, each one of these layers is a full-blown synth. there it is, LayR Synth, and you'll see at the moment it is on that sine wave. But we can go in here and it has a selection of waves, so we could change it to a saw. Then we have our filters here. Like I said, it's not a complicated synth. It's just that when you consider that you've got pretty much unlimited versions of this to make a stuff with, then it becomes like, whoa, hang on a minute, this is something mega. It also has an incredibly interesting arpeggiator as well, which I'm not going to go into in this video because it really wants a video on its own, the ARP. But I'll give you a basic idea of what that does. But anyway, so you have your ADSR here, your LFOs here, so we could have also this blend. So at the moment it's on this saw wave, but we can have it blend between this saw wave and this triangle wave, and we have an A/B time here of, this is like 0.45 seconds or a bit longer, 4 seconds. This becomes really interesting when the fact that you've got factors of time here. So the first one here is basically 1 second. And then you've got up to 10 seconds. I'm not going to hold it for 10 seconds, but you'll see it'll start to blend between that saw and that sine. And it will take a full 10 seconds if it's full up. And then you have up to 100 seconds that you can blend. And this is the same for like the ADSRs as well. So you can have you could have theoretically a release of 100 seconds or an attack of 100 seconds if you had the time multiplier set to 100. So that's absolutely massive. It's huge. You can't even get your head, and this is just one layer. So like I said, we can close this and then we can add another layer. Okay, what's this plus button do here? You can create new layers like this, but we can add another layer here and then another one and another one. And then you can program all of these. Sorry, these are instruments. We're adding instruments there. Sorry. Right. So let's initialize this. Let's go into, I'll mess this up a little bit, but you know, I'm going to go into the browser. I'm going to initialize it again and we're back to this. If you want to open your synth, you can add layers inside by tapping on this create new layer, and then you've got another one, then create new layer. And you can, like I said, you can do that up to 128 times. I mean, you know, you wouldn't, would you? But if you were feeling really sort of in a massive synth programming mood, you could. The other cool thing about adding, we can take this one away actually. Yes, delete. With these two, let's just change the sound slightly on both of these. So we've initialized the patch again, so let's just give it some dry wet for the reverb and the delay. And we'll change the actual, go into this layer here, and we'll change the waveform to a square. On this second layer, so let me just close that. I'm not sure why I'm not hearing. Oh, here we go. I've changed it to right. So we can then pan the layers. And on you go until you've built yourself a synth. You can carry on. And then if we want, so we've got a couple of layers. We could have added another create new layer. And then you can create layers that have existing links. And then if you tap a little plus, you're then creating instruments which then have, again, internal layers. Now, if we quickly initialize this again, a cool way to use the layers and that and stuff is to use the presets that are built in. So you're not having to start with a completely blank canvas to program your sound. So for instance, let's open this layer and let's add, maybe let's create, so we could duplicate layer 1, or we could just create a new layer. And then again, because we've initialized, just let's give it some dry wet on the effects. So we've got some sort of wetness to go. That's the sequencer. Like I said, we're not going to really get into that. This would take too long. So we've got 2 layers here. What we can do is we can go into this layer here, or actually let's not do that. I'm going to show you something quicker. Let's just delete one layer. So we've just got layer 1, and let's just open this drop down menu on the instrument. Okay, and then we've got all different presets that we can, our starting point presets. They are amazing, John, and welcome. Hi, David. So let's maybe pick a pad component. So we tap on it here and it opens up a bunch of basically presets. So we could just pick one, and there it is. So if we go in now, we open this and we'll see that pad component is made up of 3 layers. So let's turn the volume down. So we could then go in and maybe make a few adjustments to each of those layers. But you see how long it would take to make a really cool patch. So and there's some modulation for the mod wheel here. So again, overall instrument layer, and then you can mix between, well, they've got them linked. So another thing to understand as well is that you have this is a blending. You can now set the key range for each of those 3 layers, either like this, like that look. So this first layer, just let me try and get up the end of it here. Tap on that. Anyway, look, you can set the range of the layers, but you can also then have kind of blending as well. You see, this all takes time. I think the interface can be a bit fiddly, but anyway, you get the idea. You can split these up, blend them between themselves, have them play in and out of each other. So yeah, it's just super powerful. So that's the layering for each instrument, but then you will can also layer the instrument level, the upper level, not just this level. You can have it blend between then layers as well. So this is the one for that layer. That instrument gets complicated, you see. So we could open this and we could change another component, maybe an arpeggiator component. And then we could go, well, okay, let's open up the synth itself. There's the arpeggiator. Let's hit play. Okay, that's okay. So we could, if we have that on latch, it gets a lot more. It gets a lot more deep. This you can get it to. I'm gonna play you some patches in a minute. you'll just see the crazy power, that you can do with the arpeggiator. So let's close this. So let's go back here and then bring up our other layer. Now you'll see that both of them are playing. So let's set this to MIDI channel 1, okay. And let's set this to MIDI channel 2, okay. Okay, I'm going to change this to 1. And then I'm going to change this one to 2, okay. I'm going to go into the ARP. And okay. So you see, you can do some really it's just bonkers. The stuff you can do is bonkers. But like I said, I'm not going to get into this now because it will get too confusing for me. Anyway, look. Let's go into this. This is your main preset thing where you choose the overall performances. So instead of you messing around with all the patches and stuff, you can just choose your own. And then if you wanted to, you could go in and make some adjustments. Oh, here's one I programmed earlier. Well, let's maybe start with some Bryce Beasley's abstracts. With some of these, as soon as you switch them on, they will start, and this gives you an idea of the power of the arpeggiator. So if we actually have a look at how this instrument is constructed, there's 2, there's 3 in that one, loads in that one. So can you imagine how long this actually took to set up this layer? So everything is going to latch as we press it, but then we're in control of what notes we choose. So no hands, not playing anything, just pressing notes. So there, let's go a bit further down. Some synth ones. The sounds are absolutely brilliant. Into your preset browser again, just choose another sound. Like I said, you've got, and then we've got some synth. We've got this is another one of Bryce's. All programmed with the synth. It's brilliant. Well, that's how you get your presets, Joe. See, when you first open LayR, this is what it'll be. And if you just want to jump into the presets, you just do this. I'm a preset head too. I was for years and years and years. It's only recently I've started to dig in a little bit more. Okay, so not this one. The up one is for exporting your patches elsewhere or for saving them. This one will open a preset browser, and then you'll have all these, and you just choose, oh, what do I want? Don't want to look at some of Bryce Beasley's stuff. These are all drums and things. Or there's a drone, or the Haunt 91, we could try that. And then all you need to do is basically, but bearing in mind that some of them will just play automatically, like the ARPs. So here's that drone one. And if you want them to be a bit louder, you've got your mix controls there. You can mix between the main instruments and then the other instruments as well, or the master volume. This is just playing itself. it's just brilliant. And especially when you start to unlatch this stuff yourself and play different notes and then go in and make a few adjustments to the sounds, it's just awesome. But listen, look, when you get into what Bryce Beasley does with cinematic stuff, then you begin to kind of realize what the synth is capable of. So for example, we just play one note now, maybe an E flat. And then a B. Hi Chris. The sequencer is baffling. So we can look at things like pads. Drones. We got stuff from Red Sky Lullaby. Which is just lovely. Oh, lots of LayR videos I've done while, yeah. Turn the arpeggiator off, obviously, just play it. Before we finish, let's go and initialize a patch. So let's build a patch, shall we? So we'll start with, we'll build up some stuff with components. So here's our first layer. We will set our effects up to start with. We'll give it some dry and wet. And it's nice because now we can, doesn't that initialize the sequencer as well? That's weird. Thanks, Andrea. Bless you. Thank you very much. I would have thought that would have initialized the sequencer and all. Oh, Slash, close this. So stranger. Oh yeah, I can initialize it there, yes. So, don't want the sequencer kicking in. So we're going to go in and choose a patch to start, and this is where you can kind of easily build up your different, you've got some tutorial examples as well, but we could maybe pick a pad sound to start with. So here's our pad sound. So we could add another layer to this, but this pad sound's already built up of 6 layers. So I don't think it's really necessary to put any more in there. So let's add another instrument and choose a maybe a bass component. And let's go into our thing and limit the bass. And I'm going to choose the keyboard thing at the top because I can move them both there. So I'm just gonna hit the MIDI panic. So no bass on C3, bass is on C. God, I can't see how to get it back to there. Add another layer, so we've got some effects components. And maybe with the effects component we can just drag that back to that's really annoying. So I've only got that effect down the bottom end. So that's like making up stuff by adding stuff that's already as a thing. We could do it again very quickly. Just add in maybe there's some drum components as well, so you could make, that's how you make your drum kits and stuff. Keys, and then maybe add some more keys, or mix that one right down. Go in and make some adjustments to the ADSR, and also do the same for this layer. So not too difficult to build up a patch, you know, kind of from scratch if you use some of the built-in presets for the patches. But inside the actual the main patch browser, where you select an actual entire performances, this is cool. that patch. Thanks very much, guys, for joining me this evening, where we took a look at Leia, and in a little bit of detail, but nothing too drastic. But hopefully, you get an idea that you can how you build your layers up. Yeah, so you'll have just a lot of fun playing with the synth. Who knows? Maybe. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for joining me this evening. We had a mess around with Leia. I'll give you a few minutes to say ta-ra to each other, and I shall see you soon. Ta-ra. Ta-ra. Thanks, David. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Don't forget to strike the like, folks, as well.